Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time stopping by, you're welcome. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support so far. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to sew this beautiful lunch bag. As you can see right there, this is a lunch bag you can use to pack in your lunch for your kids and all of that. So if this is what you're interested in watching, watch to the end. Hit the like and subscribe button, share this video. Guys, I really need your support to grow my YouTube channel. Please just support me by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. So let's get right started into the video. In today's project, these are the materials we're going to be using to make this lunch bag. I have this colorful taffeta fabric, my measuring tape, my waterproof lining, my zip cloth and my zip head, my square ring, my adjuster. I have my 1-inch webbing strap. I have my scissors, my marker, and this insulated foam right here. So let's get right started. I have already cut out the template of this lunch bag and I'll be giving you the measurement for each piece of it. The front piece measures 8.8 inches by 8.8 inches. And then the back piece measures 8.8 inches by 10 inches. And then I have 4 parts here, which is the sides, the top and the bottom. It measures 7.5 inches by 9 inches, as you can see right here. That is for the sides, the top and bottom. The front pocket measures 4.5 by 8.8 inches, and then the handle of the bag measures 12 inches by 2.5 inches. It's time to stitch this lunch bag right now. I cut out lining for this front pocket, and when cutting out the lining, I made sure it was excess all by the side so it doesn't short by the side. Even if there's excess, I can still trim it off. So I'm just going to place this pocket side on top of the lining and top stitch by the sides all around. After stitching, I just trimmed out the excesses by the sides like so. After top stitching the pocket piece to the lining, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll take this 1-inch webbing strap. Then from one end of this pocket piece, I'll just place it in between like so and just stitch it all the way to the other side. This is just me piping the one end of this pocket piece. The pocket piece is ready. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll take that front piece, place that pocket piece on top of it like so from that down part, and then I'll stitch the sides down, the bottom, and leave that upper part open. After stitching the pocket to the front piece, this is what it looks like. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be working on the sides of the bag. Remember, I cut out 4 pieces which are of the same measurements, which is the 2 sides, the top and the bottom. I cut out this black taffeta fabric because I just wanted to give design to this. You can use your main fabric as the whole piece or template. I just use this for the design. So I'm just going to take one of these side piece and work on it. I folded this fabric into 2 just to get the midpoints, just like I'm doing right here, and then I used my marker just to mark out the midpoints as a guide. Then from the upper part, I came down by 2.5 inches and then I marked it there. So that is where I'm going to be placing my webbing strap all the way to the end. So I just inserted my webbing strap into my square ring just halfway like so, and then I just placed my webbing strap there. I made sure that webbing strap was in the middle of those lines I marked out. Just make sure you centralize it and then stitch it all the way to that down part. So let's work on the other side piece now. To work on the other side piece, I cut out this webbing strap which is 56 inches long. I folded the side piece into two like so, just to get a midpoint. As you can see, I've already marked out my center line. Then I just came down from that top by 2 inches, and then I'm going to place my webbing strap in the middle. Just try to centralize it, and then you stitch it down from that marked point all the way around. As you can see, the two side pieces are ready for joining to the front piece. At this point, I'm going to take my front piece and just take my sides and place it on top of the front piece, right sides facing each other like so. And then I'm going to stitch it down by 1/2 inch. When placing the sides, make sure the square ring is facing up and that rope is facing up like so. So I'm just going to stitch this down. After stitching it, I just turned it to the other side just to trim out the excess around that area. Next thing I did was just to open this up and then top stitch around that area. That first inseam, you're just going to top stitch on it. Then again, I'm going to take my other side piece and just place it on top of my front piece, right sides facing each other like so. I will just stitch it down by 1/2 inch, turn it to the other side and top stitch. The same process I did for the other side. I have stitched the other side and you can see what it looks like right now. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll take my waterproof lining. This stitch template now, I'm just going to place it on top and cut out the lining. I'll also cut out lining for the top and the bottom and also the handle. I'll also cut out that insulated foam as well. When cutting out the lining, make sure the lining is excess by the side so it doesn't short when you're stitching it down. After cutting out the lining for the larger template, I'm going to cut out the lining for the top and the bottom, just like I'm doing right here. Just make sure you cut your lining to be excess by the sides. After cutting out the lining pieces for the top and the bottom and also the main body piece, I am just going to set this aside and cut the foam. So I just placed this larger piece on top of the foam, marked out exactly the size of this template, and then I went inward by 3/4 inch by the sides and also the top. I also drew a line. I did this just to reduce the measurements by the sides because I don't want this foam to get to the extreme end and give me a tough time when I'm stitching the sides of the bag. So I just cut it out right here. Just reduce your measurements. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll take this longer piece, place it on top of the lining like so, and then top stitch the sides all the way around, leaving that upper part open. At this point, I inserted the insulated foam into those open ends like so, and then I just top stitch those open ends down. After top stitching, I just trimmed out the excesses by the sides like so. After top stitching it, this is what it looks like right now. So you're going to do the same process for the other sides. Just place your template on top of the lining, top stitch it, then leave an opening to insert that foam, close those openings and top stitch it round. You're going to do this for the back, the top and the bottom, and also for the handle as well. At this point, I was top stitching the handle on top of the lining like so. I inserted my foam in between that opening at the down part. Just cut your foam to be smaller than your main template, and then when I was done stitching it by the sides, I trimmed out the excesses all around. Then I took my 1 inch webbing strap. I just placed it in between the sides like so. I'm just going to top stitch it. Just place it in between the sides to cover those rough edge. Top stitch it all the way to the other side or to the down part and do the same thing for the other side. After stitching the handle, so I'm going to stitch the top of this lunch bag. Just get the midpoint of that top part. I just drew my middle line to guide me, and I'm just going to get the midpoint of the handle and mark it out like so, just like I'm doing right here. Then I'll place my handle on top of it from that side that measures 9 inches. From the handle, you're just going to go up by 2.5 inches and mark it out, and from the other side as well. So you just place it on that center line and stitch it down. Now I will stitch the other side of the handle in the same manner. At this point, I placed my stitched top on top of the lining, top stitched by the sides, left an opening and inserted the foam and closed that opening. Then I used my 1-inch webbing rope to pipe in between the top parts of this template like so. After piping the upper parts, I'll just take my zip yard, place that part on top of the zip yard like so, and then I'm going to stitch it down. When stitching your zip yard, make sure you push out excess towards the other side like so. This will aid you in fixing your zip head easily to that zip yard. After stitching the zip yard, I will just cut out excess at the down parts, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix my zip head at both ends like so. After fixing my zip head at both ends, I'm just going to trim out the excess zip yard by the sides. Then at this point, I took my back piece, placed it on top of that side piece like so, right sides facing each other, and I stitched it down by half of an inch. So at this point, you can either finish these rough edges by just piping that area down with your 1-inch webbing strap like so, or you can just stop stitch on it. So I'm just going to top stitch mine like so. Then I trim out the excess at the down part. Then I place the other side part of the bag on top of the other side of the back part, and then I stitch it down by half of an inch. After stitching that part down, I use my 1-inch webbing belt to just pipe those rough edges together like so. You can see what I'm doing. So you can see our bag is forming already. We are almost done with this project. Right now, I'm going to get the midpoint of this box. So from this back part, I'm going to fold it together like so, and then I'm going to notch that area as the middle part. Then I folded the front part together where the side stitches matches. I'll fold it together, and then I'm going to notch that middle point like so. To get the middle point of the side, I'll just fold that side part together like so, and then I'm going to notch the middle part. To get the middle part of the front piece, I'll just fold the front piece together like so and notch it at the center. I have 4 notch points right now, so you're going to do the same thing at the down part as well. So right here, I was just trying to get the midpoint of this top cover of the bag. I just got the midpoint at the width and also at the length area. I also got the midpoint of the bottom part on all the 4 sides like so, and I notched it. Then I place my top cover right sides facing each other to align with those notches like so. I'll just stitch it down to hold it down. Just stitch those notches to hold it down by the sides before you now go ahead to stitch all around the top. At this point, I went ahead to stitch the top part of the bag to the body of the bag at those notched areas just to hold it down. This will make your work easier when you're now stitching the whole area down. So I'm going to go ahead to stitch those areas down like so. So guys, stitching the side corners of a bag is not really easy, but when you take your time, you're going to really get it well. So just take your time and stitch it, and do the same thing for the down part. After stitching the four corner sides of the bag, this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open that zipper part like so. After opening the back top, there are two ways to finish this rough edge. Now you can use your 1-inch webbing belt to just pipe around that area to the side, or you just fold it inward like so and top stitch all the way to the other side. So I'm just going to top stitch mine. When top stitching on it, make sure you push that inseam inward and top stitch properly on it all the way to the other side. And this is the outcome of the top part. So beautiful, isn't it? Then at the joined area from the top, I just used my 1-inch webbing belt to just pipe around that area. It's time to stitch the bottom part of the bag to the body of the bag. So I notched the four sides of the bottom part of the bag, as you can see right here. I also notched the four sides of the body of the bag. So I'm just going to take this bottom part to attach it to the body of the bag. Taking the bottom piece, I faced it inward, that's the right sides inward, and then I try to match those notch parts together like so. You're just going to pin it down, stitch it at those notch points to hold it down by the four sides. Then you can now go ahead to stitch it all around. After stitching the bottom sides of the bag, this is what it looks like. So the last thing we're going to do right now is you're going to take your webbing belt used for piping, just place it in between those inseams like so, and then you stitch it on your sewing machine to hold it down. All those rough edges, just use your belt to pipe it all around and at the top to give it a neat finishing. After piping out the rough corners of this bag, this is what it looks like. It looks so neat. Then at the top, you can just use a flame to just burn those rough edges by the sides like so. So I'm going to turn this bag inside out right now. After I turn my bag inside out, I just use my scissors to poke out those edges inside out like so, so it can relax properly. Alas, this lunch bag is ready. So the next thing we're going to do right now is we're going to work on the rope side of the bag. Taking my adjuster, I just inserted that webbing belt into my adjuster like so. Just watch what I'm doing. Then I'm going to drag it to the other side like so. Then you're just going to take your webbing belt and just fix it into that square ring like so, and fix back the belt into the adjuster like so. Just watch what I'm doing, and then you drag it to the other side and fix it back to the other end, just like I'm doing right here. I'll just drag it like so. After dragging the rope towards this side, then I'll just fold it inward like so and pin it down on that second shorter rope. I'll take it to my stitching machine and secure it down. Finally, this lunch bag is 100% ready. If at this point you've watched this tutorial to this extent and you've not hit the like and subscribe button, please hit the like and subscribe button. That's the only way you can support me to grow my YouTube channel. Please comment. Those of you that like watching videos and don't like commenting or liking, please, this video is actually worth it. Thank you so much for commenting, liking and sharing. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.